In the heart of a bustling metropolis, a peculiar phenomenon began to unfold. At first it was barely noticeable. A few isolated cases of people exhibiting strange, trance-like behavior. They would wander the streets, their eyes glazed over, muttering incoherently about a great connection and a higher purpose. The authorities initially dismissed these incidents as drug-related or the result of mental illness. But as the number of affected individuals grew, it became clear that something far more sinister was at play. Dr. Amara Singh, a brilliant mycologist, was among the first to suspect that the cause of the bizarre behavior might be linked to a fungal infection. Her research had focused on the intricate ways in which fungi communicate and form complex networks, and she had long theorized about the possibility of a fungal species evolving to infect and control the human mind. When the first reports of the strange occurrences surfaced, Dr. Singh knew she had to investigate further. As the infection spread, the affected individuals began to exhibit a disturbing level of coordination. They would gather in groups, their movements synchronized and their voices echoing the same haunting mantra: "We are one. We are the future." The city's streets became a battleground between the infected and the remaining unaffected citizens, who struggled to maintain order and find a way to contain the outbreak. Dr. Singh worked tirelessly in her laboratory, studying samples from the infected individuals and searching for a way to combat the fungal menace. She discovered that the fungus responsible for the infection was unlike anything she had ever encountered before. It had an uncanny ability to hijack the human brain's neural pathways, effectively rewiring its victims' minds to serve its own enigmatic purpose. As the infection continued to spread at an alarming rate, Dr. Singh realized that she was in a race against time. The fungal hive mind grew stronger with each new host it assimilated, and it became increasingly clear that its ultimate goal was nothing short of total domination. With the fate of humanity hanging in the balance, Dr. Singh knew that she had to find a way to stop the fungus before it was too late, even if it meant risking everything she held dear. As the city descended into chaos, Dr. Singh worked around the clock, pushing herself to the brink of exhaustion in her quest to unravel the secrets of the fungal hive mind. She pored over countless samples, conducting experiments and analyzing data, searching for any weakness or vulnerability that could be exploited. Her once pristine laboratory had become a cluttered maze of petri dishes, microscopes, and hastily scribbled notes, reflecting the urgency of her mission. The infected, now moving as a singular entity, began to construct bizarre fungal structures throughout the city. These towering organic edifices pulsated with an eerie bioluminescent glow and seemed to serve as conduits for the hive mind's collective consciousness. The air hung heavy with the sickly sweet stench of decay, and the streets were littered with the remnants of humanity's last stand against the encroaching fungal menace. As Dr. Singh delved deeper into the fungus's complex biology, she made a startling discovery. The hive mind was not just assimilating its human hosts, it was evolving them, transforming their bodies and minds into something entirely new. The infected individuals were becoming less human with each passing day, their features twisting into grotesque, fungal caricatures of their former selves. Desperate for a breakthrough, Dr. Singh reached out to her colleagues around the world, hoping that their combined knowledge and resources could help stem the tide of the fungal invasion. She shared her findings through encrypted channels, knowing that time was running out and that the fate of humanity rested on their ability to work together. As the fungal hive mind's influence spread beyond the city limits, Dr. Singh knew that she was facing an uphill battle. The world's governments and military forces were struggling to contain the outbreak, and panic had taken hold on a global scale. Yet even in the face of overwhelming odds, Dr. Singh refused to give up hope. She knew that the key to stopping the fungus lay within her grasp, and she was determined to find it, no matter the cost. As the world teetered on the brink of collapse, Dr. Singh's research finally yielded a glimmer of hope. She discovered that the fungal hive mind had a critical weakness, a specific frequency of sound that could disrupt its neural network and sever the connection between the infected individuals. The challenge now lay in finding a way to amplify and broadcast this frequency on a massive scale. Dr. Singh reached out to a team of engineers and sound experts, sharing her findings and enlisting their help in developing a device capable of generating the necessary frequency. They worked tirelessly, racing against the clock as the fungal hive mind continued to spread and evolve. Meanwhile, the infected had begun to exhibit new and terrifying abilities. Some could release clouds of spores that rapidly infected anyone who inhaled them, while others had developed the ability to merge with and control the fungal structures they had created. The hive mind was adapting at an alarming rate, and Dr. Singh knew that time was running out. As the sound device neared completion, Dr. Singh and her team realized that they would need to find a way to get close enough to the heart of the hive mind to effectively deploy it. They hatched a daring plan to infiltrate the largest of the fungal structures, a towering, pulsating mass that seemed to serve as the central hub for the hive mind's consciousness. Dr. Singh assembled a small, brave group of volunteers, each equipped with protective gear and a miniaturized version of the sound device. They set out on their perilous mission, navigating the treacherous fungal-infested streets, determined to reach their target and put an end to the hive mind's reign of terror. As they approached the looming fungal structure, Dr. Singh steeled herself for the final confrontation, knowing that the fate of humanity hung in the balance. As Dr. Singh and her team entered the fungal structure, they were immediately engulfed by a nightmarish landscape of pulsating, bioluminescent growths and twisted organic forms. The air was thick with the sickly sweet stench of decay, and the walls seemed to throb with an unsettling rhythmic pulse. They pushed forward, navigating the labyrinthine passages, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. Suddenly they found themselves face to face with a grotesque, fungal creature that appeared to be a manifestation of the hive mind itself. The creature towered over them, its body a mass of writhing tendrils and gaping, tooth-lined maws. It let out an unearthly shriek, and the team found themselves under attack by a swarm of infected individuals, their bodies contorted and fused with the surrounding fungal growth. Dr. Singh and her team fought bravely, using their sound devices to disrupt the hive mind's control over its minions. The devices emitted a piercing, high-frequency pulse that caused the infected to convulse and collapse, their neural connections severed. The team pressed on, battling their way through the hordes of fungal monstrosities, determined to reach the heart of the structure. As they neared their goal, Dr. Singh realized that the hive mind was adapting to the sound devices, its neural network evolving to resist the disruptive frequency. She knew that they had only one chance to strike a decisive blow against the fungal menace. With a final desperate push, they reached the central chamber of the structure, where the pulsating core of the hive mind resided. Dr. Singh and her team unleashed the full power of their sound devices, focusing the intense high-frequency pulses directly at the core. The chamber shook with the force of the sonic assault, and the hive mind let out a deafening, agonized scream. The fungal growths began to wither and decay, and the infected individuals collapsed, their minds freed from the hive's control. As the structure crumbled around them, Dr. Singh and her team barely managed to escape, emerging battered and exhausted, but victorious. The fungal hive mind had been defeated, and humanity had been given a second chance. In the aftermath of the fungal hive mind's defeat, the world slowly began to recover from the devastating outbreak. The infected individuals, freed from the hive's control, were left disoriented and traumatized, their minds and bodies scarred by the ordeal. Dr. Singh and her team worked tirelessly to develop treatments and therapies to help the survivors heal and reintegrate into society. As the cleanup efforts progressed, Dr. Singh couldn't shake the feeling that the threat was not entirely gone. She continued to study the remnants of the fungal growths, searching for any signs of lingering activity or potential resurgence. Her fears were soon realized when she discovered a small, hidden pocket of the fungus, still pulsating with life and evolving at an alarming rate. Dr. Singh knew that she had to act quickly to prevent another outbreak. She assembled a new team of experts, this time focusing on developing a permanent solution to the fungal menace. They worked in secret, experimenting with various methods of eradicating the fungus and ensuring that it could never again pose a threat to humanity. As they delved deeper into their research, Dr. Singh and her team made a startling discovery. The fungus, in its final stages of evolution, had developed a rudimentary form of sentience. It was aware of its own existence and had been actively working to ensure its survival. This revelation only strengthened Dr. Singh's resolve to find a way to eliminate the fungal threat once and for all. In the end, it was a combination of cutting-edge gene editing techniques and targeted sonic frequencies that finally enabled Dr. Singh and her team to eradicate the last remnants of the fungus. They watched with a mixture of relief and exhaustion as the final pulsating fungal mass withered and died, its bioluminescent glow fading into darkness. The world had been saved, but the scars left by the fungal hive mind would linger for generations to come. Dr. Singh knew that her work was far from over, but for now, she could take solace in the knowledge that humanity had prevailed against an existential threat, and that the resilience of the human spirit had shone through in the face of unimaginable horror.